Our story begins not in books, but with a footprint on a sandy shore, a fire against the dark. On the coast of eastern Africa, tens of thousands of years ago, humanity took its first steps. Small bands of foragers fanned out, spreading across continents. But a revolution was coming, not of conquest, but of cultivation. A single seed planted in the earth transformed our journey. Travel gave way to settlement. Grain required storage, settlements required rules, and the turning of the seasons demanded a way to measure time. Humanity was drawn to the great river valleys, the Tigris and Euphrates, the Nile, the Indus. Here, in the fertile mud, the first cities rose. Sun-baked clay became the ledger of civilization, recording debts and decrees. Kings raised temples to the heavens, and law brought order to the fragile cycle of the harvest. From these crucibles, trade routes emerged, linking city-states into the world's first empires. But empires are built on more than grain and gold. They are built on ideas. In the bustling markets and quiet groves of South Asia, new questions arose about our place in the cosmos. Hinduism spoke of cosmic cycles and sacred duty, while Buddhism offered a path to enlightenment. In the Near East, a radical new idea emerged, a single, all-powerful God. And far to the east, along the Yellow River, Confucianism provided a blueprint for an ordered society, binding the family to the state through duty, ritual, and learning. These powerful ideas, along with goods and technologies, traveled. Along the legendary Silk Roads, caravans carried not just silk and spices, but faith and philosophy. Across the Indian Ocean, monsoon winds connected diverse cultures. The vast open steppes of Central Asia gave rise to nomadic empires, whose conquests cleared the way for an unprecedented exchange of technology, paper, the compass, and gunpowder, all flowing west. Across the Sahara, Islam journeyed with caravans of salt and gold. But these connections carried peril. In the 14th century, the Black Death swept across the trade routes, a devastating pandemic that would shatter old certainties and reshape the world. From the ashes of that plague, a new era of exploration was born. The world's oceans, once barriers, became highways. On the shores of the Americas, worlds collided. This was the Columbian Exchange, a vast transfer of plants, animals, and diseases that remade ecosystems and economies. But it came at a terrible cost. As European empires expanded, vast plantations, fueled by the brutal enslavement of millions, spread across the New World. Back in Europe, a revolution of the mind was brewing. The Enlightenment championed reason, liberty, and the rights of the individual. From a church door in 1517 to the barricades of 1848, old authorities were challenged and new nations were forged. Soon, another revolution, this one of steam and steel, would transform the globe. The roar of the factory timed life to the whistle, while industrial empires, hungry for resources and markets, carved up Africa and Asia, redrawing the map of the world. The 20th century brought conflict on an unimaginable scale. 2 world wars and a long, tense Cold War fractured the globe, redrawing borders and ideologies. Yet from this crucible, new hopes emerged. Empires crumbled as decolonization swept the globe. Movements for civil rights and human rights demanded justice and equality. Today, we live in a world connected by digital streams, a global network our ancestors could never have imagined. Yet, we face challenges they would recognize: inequality, pandemic, and a changing climate. From the code that shapes our lives to the frontiers of genetic engineering, the choices we make today are the history of tomorrow. The journey continues.